Hello everyone, this is Duck2 and welcome to part 2 of my LightningCraft mod overview. So yeah, in the first part we covered the basics and sort of the beginning of the mod, I would assume, of getting basic machines, striking lightning down with golf clubs, and access to the underworld and what it has to offer. In this part we're going to be covering pretty much the rest of the mod, with things like the TNT, the different types of swords, the battery and Technic, item magnet and otherwise power systems, power utilities, a bunch of upgrades and other utility blocks that remain, as well as Tinker's support. So yeah, we'll cover upgrades right now. So if you notice right here, pretty simple, and then you notice in here it says upgraded. It should mostly just increase speed. It shouldn't increase too much of anything else. When it comes to the machines, the mine are obviously differing in some other ways, and then when you have access to certain things like cells, for example, the actual size would differ for them in capacity. You can't do this with certain things like transmitters, receivers, the block breaker, the lightning generator, or even the cannons, for example. But yeah, so actually I'm not sure if I missed this one, which I should do just in case. You just shift right click and it automatically upgrades it for you. So otherwise, for upgrading them to get more energy storage or faster speeds, you can also obviously have it where you can transfer power wirelessly by just selecting the transmitter, selecting the receiver with the shift left click, and it should be good to transfer the coordinates and data across, which is simple with an upgrade and a bunch of other stuff. So you will need to get Skyfather at this point, which is simply Eyes of Ender, Electricium, and Thunderstone. So it's best to at least make sure you've got enough of this, as well as some Thunderstone, which isn't too hard to come by at this stage of the mod. Otherwise, I'm not going to be covering too much of recipes because most of these are pretty much dependent on each tier. Let's see. Demon warding, simple. Each mob. Let's see. Skeletal guards will drop guards bones, which can then be crafted into guards bone meal, or broken down into more than that and then made into cyan dye, ensorcellated core, or more bone meal, which obviously you can use this for the enchantment reallocator. Yeah. The miner I have had a few crash issues with in the past. Don't know if it was this version or not, so I might cover that last. The block breaker is pretty simple. Place a block in front of it, and it'll just work like so. It does require a bit though to make it, but still fairly cheap. And then the miner is a bit more on the second tier or mid-game, mid-mod level. I'll probably just get into the swords and otherwise. Let's see, what test dummy should I go with? Spider, I guess? Soul Sword, I'm pretty sure, is supposed to actually slow them down or inflict something onto them. I can't quite remember. Grave Uprising, obviously, with the undead sword, summons zombies. Wing sword does knockback. The Ender one is it where you teleport around your opponent after you attack them. Just not a great example there, but Flame sword, pretty simple, and the glacial does slowness. Which can be made pretty simply in here with something like packed ice, for example. Ice you can easily get from, pretty sure it's under slimes. Very simple for the end. Flame sword, ender sword, winged, undead, and the other. Unless that one's the slowness, and I can't remember. I probably might be mixing them up. I think it's blindness. I can't remember off the top of my head, unfortunately. I don't think it states in the lightning guide either. The enchantment reallocator allows you to sort of go in a different way of enchantments that is a bit complicated. What you essentially do is get an enchanted book, like 3 for example, and get another book, or you probably just get another enchantment, I'm pretty sure it is, and then yeah. Just do that real quick, that probably does it a bit faster, and it reallocates it. I'm not too sure of the purpose of this, but I'm assuming if you wanted to, you could do this by just reallocating enchantments onto probably another book, or existing books probably would make a lot more sense, but yeah, unless it's for multiple, I'm pretty sure, but you can only put one in, so yeah. Otherwise, magnets, pretty simple, cheap, and the higher you go up, it makes sense how much more blocks away they'll go. Uses a bit of the battery here, so for example, if I just throw a battery down, I can throw a magnet down. Don't know why that's happening. And then pull it, and obviously uses a bit of LE here. Also, when you use the kinetic armor and tools, it will also use a bit of battery energy to charge it up. You obviously get a charger's plate, or charging plate, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, which isn't too difficult. Obviously, Tinker support with all the 3 different types, as well as the fact that you can notice this also with the buckets as well of the molten variations of said material. Otherwise, various other blocks for building material options, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I just have yet to cover the TNT and the armor, and I guess the cannons as well. If I happen to, for example, get hostile mobs, probably get some slime in here. We can scan them on player entities. And, yep, and the 2 options among both cannons. Otherwise, yeah, in the last part I'll just cover the last few bits and pieces real quick. Thanks so much for watching.